Yo, what's up YouTube man? It's your boy Action Jackson. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys my thoughts about the news coming out of Tony Pollard potentially being franchise tagged. So before we hop into the video, I'd appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think might enjoy my content, man. So hopping straight into it, man. There was a news today that came out that Tony Pollard is going to be franchise tagged. And first, my initial thoughts of it was, I was indifferent about it. I wasn't happy about it. I wasn't too upset or anything like that. But my thing is that if you're going to franchise tag Tony Pollard, you tend to use a franchise tag for a purpose. If you're just going to have him on the books just for a year, just for you to release him, we're not giving him a contract, then what's the point of signing him, you know? Because it's not like you're going to franchise tag him and then trade him and flip him for a higher value draft pick, which, you know, doesn't really happen often. I know the Bears did that for Roquan Smith to the Baltimore Ravens, but a lot of deals doesn't really like that. You know, a lot of franchise tag, you know, flip that into a pick. That doesn't really happen that often. So my thing is that if you're going to franchise tag a player, you tend to sign them to a deal, or if you're going to use them for if you're going to franchise tag them, at least consider giving them a contract during the season or after the season, after they proved whatever you wanted them to prove to you. So now the ramifications of Tony Pollard getting franchise tagged is what happens with Ezekiel Elliott. Do we... for me, it's simple. For me, is that Zeke Elliott has two options, and I already said that before in a video when I already discussed about Zeke a couple of days after the San Fran game, is that he's either going to take a massive pay cut or he's going to just have to get flat out cut, be a post-June 1st release. So for me, I don't see Zeke Elliott taking a huge financial cut in his contract. That's basically like you going to work and, they're asking your boss coming up to you and telling you, hey, I need you to take a pay cut because we're trying to get another person to essentially take your job. A lot of times people will just say, forget that and I'm leaving. So that's essentially what they're doing. A lot of these, for people, this is a job for them. So since it's a job for them, they treat it as such. So it's just a job that they love doing, and, they get paid millions of dollars to do it. So I think Zeke Elliott won't be on this team for the foreseeable future, especially if the Cowboys are going to ask him to take a significant pay cut. And what was funny was that I was watching a podcast last night with Shannon Sharp interviewing Eddie George, and they were just discussing about the lifespan of the running back and how the running back is in today's game prior to what it was when he was in the game. But I remember there was a point in the interview when Shannon Sharp asked him, what happened in Tennessee and why didn't you stay and everything like that. But they were asking, he was like on the decline in his career. He had a big contract, and that they were asking him to take a significant pay cut. But he was willing to take a significant pay cut, but they were trying to just completely lowball him and give him pennies on a dollar. They were trying to give him chump change. He was like, nah, I ain't falling for that. And that's why I think Zeke is going to happen to where, the Joneses are going to come to, they're going to come to Zeke Elliott. But if the Joneses get real disrespectful and try to pay him a couple $100,000, I really think he would just get released and just test the market, which I don't think his market is very huge anyway because of where he's at right now in the stage of his career, being that, he's not even 30 yet. I think he's 26, 27, maybe going on 28. He's not even 30 yet, and he's not even what he used to be. So, all that ability is gone. He's still physical. He's still great in short yard situation, but why am I going to pay a back that I give on goal-to-go situations where it's like, okay, inches, a yard, 2 yards, foot at the goal line that I'm going to give it to him? Why am I going to pay you $16.8 million to do that when I can just go get that plus more, like a real dynamic, explosive back in free agency for cheaper maybe, or you can possibly go good even draft a running back. And that's another thing I also wanted to discuss as well, is that, franchise tagging Tony Pollard. This basically means that if you franchise tag Tony Pollard, you either want to roll with Malik Davis being your main running back, or your backup running back, and then you want to either promote Rico Dowdle, or you still want to draft a running back. Or what I thought the Dallas Cowboys were originally going to do was just cut ties with both running backs, because I don't think the Cowboys want to give Tony Pollard a big contract after this anyway. It'll be stupid for them to give him a big contract anyway, because if you pay Tony Pollard a significant amount of money, you're going to end up in the same situation that you have had with Zeke. So imagine if you pay Tony Pollard a 3-4 year deal, and you find inner workings within the contract for you to get out. So also as an organization, you can protect yourself, from the player if he's no longer what he is. But I just say that, how about you just avoid that at all, instead of having, giving him a contract or franchise tagging him? Because if you franchise tag him, you have to give him $10 million this year regardless. So why don't you just let him go, let him test the market, and why don't you just go draft a running back, and why don't you just promote Malik Davis into your starting role, and you go out there and you draft a running back, which I think that's how we should have done anyway, was let both of you guys walk. You get a comp pick out of Tony Pollard. You'll save money. You'll get a lot of money towards the cap letting go of Zeke. You'll get a running back day 3 or late day 2, anywhere from like the 3rd round, all the way from the 3rd round to the 7th round. But your decisions about how you draft is all contingent of what you do in free agency. If you make little to zero moves, if you just sign your own in free agency and you don't do nothing else, you don't ever try to get better at a certain position, then when it comes to the draft, you're having to press and you're having to draft a whole lot, and you have to hit on a lot of your picks if you don't do anything in free agency. So I felt like, I'll discuss that in a later video, but essentially that if you want to let go of these running backs, Zeke and Pollard, which I think you should, draft your running back in the day 3 of the draft. Then you go out and go, promote Malik Davis to your running back 1. Or if your running back that you drafted is significantly better than Malik Davis, then so be it. But I felt like you can have anyone in the backfield as long as you fix your front 5 and they're able to pass, protect, and run block really well. It does not matter who your running back is. As the Dallas Cowboys in 2015, our offensive line was great. Before we even drafted Zeke, our offensive line was great. And then it was like top 2, top 3 in the league that year. And when we had Darren McFadden ran for 1,004 yards in one season. And, then when we got Zeke, it was totally different, because we had a dynamic back along with the best offensive line in the league. So everything's contingent on your trenches, like, how it is in football anyway. You can't pass, you can't run if you don't have an offensive line, and you can't play defense really that well if you can't get to the passer. So you fix this front, importantly, if you fix this front 5 of your offensive line and you get key players back like Terrence Steele from his ACL, and then you draft, like how I did for my mock draft, how I drafted Osiris Torrance. If you can get a guy like that, you get Tyler Smith staying at left tackle, you get Terrence Steele back at right tackle, you stick with Tyler Biadasz at center and right guard, you got Zach Martin. That's going to easily be the best offensive line in the league, if not top 2 with the Philadelphia Eagles. So, most importantly, franchise tagging Tony Pollard, do it with a purpose. Don't just franchise tag somebody and then have them on the books for $10 million and then let them go the next offseason. If you're going to franchise tag, either get them a deal or trade them. And then, for me, let go of Zeke, because I feel like the Dallas Cowboys are going to, the Joneses are going to really lowball Zeke Elliott. So just post June 1st, cut him. Then he's able to go out on the market and go sign with anyone who he wants to. Then, I just say that you stick with Malik Davis. You fix his front offensive line. You fix your front 5. You drop the running back in day 3. Because like I said before, also, again, some of your favorite running backs in the league, I'm talking about you guys as viewers or whoever views this video, some of your favorite running backs, they weren't top 10, top 5 selected. Other than minority being it, I'm talking about right now, in current NFL, some of your best running backs are Derrick Henry. If we just use him for example, you got him in the 2nd round. Some people's favorite CMC, that's one of the odds. But you just look at the Carolina Panthers, who originally drafted him. If you ask the Carolina Panthers right now, behind closed doors, put a camera on him, you ask them, was that a great pick? And they will probably say, well, it was great for a season or two, but after that, he wasn't worth it after we gave him that money. And running backs aren't normally a position that you look back in 10 years of a draft and you're like, that was a really great pick. He's a really pivotal guy for our franchise, and he really changed what we did. So, you ask the Jaguars, same thing with Leonard Fournette. You ask Dallas right now with Zeke Elliott, was he worth it? Yeah, he was worth it for like money sales and marketing, but he didn't. He's not somebody that we can see be part of our team for the next 8-9 years and him still play at an elite level. You don't get that out of running backs. You can get that out of quarterbacks, offensive linemen, tight ends, any other positions like that. But running backs, those aren't positions you draft for, to be on your team for 10 plus years. You might have a one-off with Adrian Peterson, but how many Adrian Petersons or, Emmitt Smith, Eric Dickersons are you seeing on the walk of life of running backs? Not a whole lot. So, like I said, just wrap it up. Like I said again, if you're franchise tagging somebody, use the intent of the franchise tag, and the franchise tag is the intent of it is to place on somebody to eventually work up to a deal. So either give Tony Pollard his money or trade him, or just don't place it on him at all, because this is all speculative, this is all rumors, nothing is intimate right now. So if those are things you have to ask yourself for the Dallas Cowboys, because now last year you even wasted your franchise tag on a Dalton Schultz because you're not even going to sign him to a deal this year. So it is what it is right now with the Dallas Cowboys, and most importantly, it doesn't matter who your running back is. This front five of your offensive line, you should be fine no matter who your running back is, because I still believe you can get a lot of production out of running backs on cheap rookie deals, and you don't have to allocate that many, allocate a certain percentage of the salary cap towards a certain player, especially when you can use that money for something else. So yeah, man, that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. See you later. Stay safe. Bye.